committee, so I just don't want to be misunderstood. I believe in the strengths of civil society. At the same time, my question to you, Katerina, would be that don't you think that the potential success of the RECOM is basically undermined by the lack of the support of the political stakeholders? And what I mean that first, during the function of a truth commission, it would basically prevent voluntary participation of former perpetrators and victims, so there wouldn't be enough statements to draw an overall picture about the past. Second, it would have a preventive effect on access to documentary evidences. Plus, later on, if there is a final report, it couldn't enter the official political discourse, which means that the impact wouldn't be large enough. And my second question would be addressed to Natasha. It's an amazing project that you are conducting, so it's great. And similar projects we have in Hungary about Roma issues and hate crimes. So my question would be addressed really on the methodology, because the problem we have in Hungary that we don't reach the most problematic groups. So basically those who are attending the theatrical performances are first Roma people, and that contributes to a certain extent to victimization. And second, those liberal thinkers who basically are, there is no problem.
They're already converted, yeah.
So what kind of methods do you have to reach those people where really the change is needed? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, my focus was more on the perception of RECOM from the side of local civil society to see if it's actually representing their very needs. So I'm really trying to look at least at the grounds, like not so much whether it interferes with I don't know, trials or the ICTY and so on. This was very much a concern in the beginning, but RECOM tried all the time to make clear that it will try to be complementary with trials and with the ICTY and so on. Yeah.
Yeah, I meant rather like local political parties who are basically not representatives of the country, who are basically not open for this kind of regional balanced dialogue about the past.
Yeah, and this is also another aspect. So of course, like the whole thing will be undermined and stopped by a lack of political support. So we still don't know if it will ever happen, and because it very much depends on the initiative to gain the support of the real governments.
Yeah.
So this is like a question that I think also the organizers of RECOM are keeping in mind themselves, whether this will, if the search for this official support will fail, then whether they will proceed with an unofficial project. I think they still very much insist on the official thing and the official path, because what they underline all the time, and I'm really just reporting now without any analytical lens, is that there is a very big need for acknowledgement from the political level rather than just researching about the facts. But the risk of politicization is definitely a big thing. I mean, if there is an intergovernmental body that becomes something official and something representing also the governments, then there is of course risk of politicization. And but again, I was not so much in my work reflecting on that, rather whether this is what the local people want. Like, yeah.
Arno maybe can add to.
Yeah, I'm itching here. So RECOM was sort of my dissertational baby, and I feel, and I try to keep up even though I get involved in other projects, but what's really important to the founders and the creators of that initiative was, even though it looked like as if it stalled, it's an ongoing process that opened a space, that opened a debate that was not there in the region beforehand. And so I believe, as Katerina said, it's a space that is complementary, even though Natasha, with her sort of legalized version, and she always surrounds herself with lawyers and try to hash out every single article and alinea of the statute. She even tried to kick out certain observers during a workshop, saying, no, I need to talk to my lawyers. And but eventually, it was an open space where there were sociologists, historians, and I think that's very, very important no matter what happens to the RECOM process in the long run. I think it needs time to be digested by the political elites, and if it's not this initiative, then maybe other initiatives that might come. And I think there will be sort of an important linkage where you have political elites in combination with established civil society organizations that, as I said, there's different tool sets, even though we don't want to talk about this. They sort of compete and then they say they're complementary, but in fact, lawyers didn't really like the process. I followed over years many workshops and consultations where there was a lot of tensions in the room, even from collaborators. Judges would say, no, you can't do this, you're not a court. And then the RECOM founder said, like, no, but there should be a space, and how can we legalize it?
Yes,
and
please.
so I think it's really important to keep that in mind, that it's a space and that society, even whether or not we'll have an established institutionalized regional commission, there might be different ways of dealing with it. Hi, we're still there.
Here's the
We'll be right
police.
there for coffee.
Thank you, sorry.
Yes, so I think that's important to keep in mind with a more transnational global picture. Thank you.
Natasha?